The sound came first, a sharp crack like the sky tearing open, and then the diner seemed to explode into motion. In a heartbeat, wood splintered, glass burst outward, and the quiet rhythm of an ordinary evening shattered into chaos. Before fear could even form into a thought, a boy lunged across the narrow aisle and threw himself over a girl he barely knew, his arms wrapping around her as if instinct alone had taken control. He did not know who she was. He did not know where danger came from. And he did not know that her father was the vice president of one of the most feared motorcycle clubs in the country. In that single moment, all he knew was that someone needed protection, and he was close enough to try. If you believe that kindness still matters in a world that often feels cold and unpredictable, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes. Stories like this remind us that courage often appears in ordinary places, carried by ordinary people. The boy's name was Ethan, and up until that night, his life had been a quiet collection of small struggles and modest dreams. He worked part-time at a hardware store after school, saving money for a future he wasn't quite sure how to picture yet. His mother worked double shifts as a nurse, his father long gone, leaving behind only lessons about standing up for others and doing the right thing even when no one was watching. Ethan had learned early that life did not offer guarantees, only choices. That evening, he had stopped at the diner to escape the cold and spend a few dollars on fries and a soda before heading home. He never imagined that a simple decision to sit near the window would place him between danger and someone else's life. Across from him, at the next booth, sat a girl named Lily. She was around his age, dark hair pulled back loosely, her jacket still on as if she hadn't planned to stay long. She looked tired, distracted, and a little sad, the way people do when they are waiting for something they don't really want to arrive. Ethan noticed her only in passing, the way strangers notice each other every day without truly seeing. But fate has a strange way of turning strangers into turning points. When the crash erupted, when panic ripped through the diner, Ethan's body moved before his mind could question it. He dove, covering Lily, his back taking the brunt of flying debris as the world roared around them. The seconds that followed felt endless. The air filled with dust and the sharp smell of splintered wood. People screamed, scrambled, froze. Ethan felt pain bloom across his shoulders and arms, but he tightened his hold, focusing on one simple truth: as long as he could shield her, he would. Fear tried to claw its way into his chest, yet something stronger held it back. Maybe it was how small she felt beneath him, or maybe it was the memory of his mother telling him that real strength meant protecting others when you could. Whatever it was, it anchored him in place until the chaos slowed and the noise began to fade. When it was finally safe to move, Ethan lifted himself carefully. His hands shook, and his breath came fast, but Lily was unharmed. She looked up at him with wide eyes, shock and disbelief etched across her face. Around them, the diner was a wreck, tables overturned, glass scattered like ice, people helping one another to their feet. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder by the second. Ethan tried to stand and nearly fell, his legs weak from adrenaline and pain. Still, he felt strangely calm, as if something inside him had already accepted whatever came next. The truth about Lily's life arrived soon after, carried in on the heavy footsteps of men who seemed to pull the room's oxygen with them. Leather jackets, hard eyes, an unmistakable presence that silenced conversation as soon as they entered. Among them was a man with graying hair and a face carved by years of authority and survival. This was Lily's father, a man known in certain circles as a leader who commanded loyalty and fear in equal measure. The vice president of the Hells Angels was not someone most people expected to meet in a diner, let alone owe a debt to. As the men took in the scene, his gaze landed on Ethan, sitting on the floor with a bleeding cut along his arm, refusing medical help until Lily was checked. There was a pause, heavy and electric, as if the entire diner was holding its breath. Ethan did not know who the man was, only that his presence felt dangerous, final. For the first time that night, real fear seeped into Ethan's bones. He wondered if doing the right thing had just placed a target on his back. But something unexpected happened. The hardened man's expression changed, just slightly, softening in a way few ever saw. He had spent his life in a world where strength was measured in dominance and fear, yet here was a skinny teenager who had faced chaos with nothing but instinct and heart. This boy had not asked who Lily was. He had not weighed consequences. He had simply protected her. In that moment, respect replaced suspicion. Ethan's days after the incident were filled with soreness, questions, and restless nights. Word traveled fast in their town, twisting the story into something larger than life. Some called him reckless, others a hero. Ethan didn't feel like either. He felt confused, unsure why his simple act now carried so much weight. He worried about what might happen next, about whether he had crossed into a world he didn't belong in. He struggled with fear, replaying the moment over and over, wondering if he would make the same choice again. Each time, the answer came back the same. Change arrived quietly. A hospital bill he couldn't afford was suddenly taken care of. A broken bike he used to get to work was replaced. Opportunities appeared without explanation, doors opening just enough to remind Ethan that goodness had not gone unnoticed. Lily reached out in her own way, not with grand gestures, but with gratitude that felt sincere and deep. Their connection was not built on romance or drama, but on shared survival and understanding. For Lily's father, the incident became a turning point he never expected. Power had always insulated him from vulnerability, but seeing his daughter protected by a stranger forced him to confront a truth he had long buried. Respect did not have to be taken by force. Sometimes, it was earned through sacrifice. Though his world remained dangerous and complex, something shifted in him that night, a reminder that even the hardest lives could still recognize pure intentions. Ethan returned to his routines, but he was no longer the same. He walked taller, not with pride, but with purpose. He understood now that courage was not about being fearless, it was about acting despite fear. His struggle had not ended, but it had been reshaped. He had learned that one moment of selflessness could ripple outward, touching lives he would never fully see. Before this story reaches its final moments, take a second to comment below and share what courage means to you. Your words might inspire someone who needs them more than you realize. As time passed, the memory of shattered glass faded, but the lesson remained sharp and clear. In a world divided by fear and labels, a boy's instinctive act had bridged an impossible gap. No titles mattered in that instant, no reputations or affiliations. There was only a human being protecting another. And sometimes, that is enough to change everything. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that everyday heroes walk among us, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes. Your engagement helps keep stories of kindness and second chances alive. Somewhere out there, another Ethan is making a choice in a moment of chaos, unaware of how powerful a single act of courage can be.